Imagine standing on a grassy hill, feeling the morning mist on your face. You look out, and all you see are gentle green mounds rolling into the distance. It feels peaceful, almost ordinary. But what if I told you that you're standing in the middle of a lost city? A city that, in the year 1200 AD, was larger, more populous, and more vibrant than London. This isn't a fantasy from a forgotten book. This is real. This is Cahokia, hidden in plain sight, just a stone's throw from modern-day St. Louis, Missouri. How could a metropolis, an empire, simply vanish from our history books? We're taught about Rome, about ancient Egypt, about the great dynasties of China. We see their ruins, their monuments, their stories carved in stone. But here, in the heartland of America, was a civilization that rivaled them, and for centuries, we chose to forget. Its disappearance wasn't an accident of time. It was a quiet erasure, a deliberate sidelining of a story that didn't fit the narrative we were told. The story of a powerful, sophisticated indigenous civilization was inconvenient. So Cahokia became a footnote, its grand plazas and towering mounds dismissed as natural hills or accidental formations. But Cahokia was anything but accidental. At its peak, around 1050 AD, it was the center of the world for tens of thousands of people. This was the heart of the Mississippian culture, a sprawling network of communities connected by rivers and trade routes that stretched from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. Picture a bustling city square, not of cobblestone, but of packed earth, wider than a dozen football fields. Hear the murmur of 100 different dialects as traders from distant lands exchange copper, shells, and precious stones. This wasn't a primitive village, it was a meticulously planned urban center. It had suburbs, defensive walls, and a sophisticated understanding of astronomy, aligning its major structures with the sun and moon. And at its center, dominating the skyline, stood a monument of sheer will, Monk's Mound. Taller than a 10-story building, with a base larger than the Great Pyramid of Giza, this colossal earthwork was built by hand. No beasts of burden, no wheels, no metal tools. Just thousands of people, united by a shared vision, carrying basket after basket of soil, over 22 million cubic feet of it, to build a mountain for their leaders. A stairway to the heavens. Imagine the scene. A city teeming with life, a testament to what humanity can achieve. This was a society that understood engineering, social organization, and spiritual devotion on a scale that we've only recently begun to appreciate. They weren't just building a city, they were building a cosmos on Earth. This story of Cahokia, its rise and its quiet fall, is more than just a history lesson. It's a testament to the power of a shared vision. When we think of great achievements, we often think of technology, of tools, of resources. We picture empires built with iron and steel. But Cahokia teaches us something profound. The most powerful tool is belief. The people of Cahokia didn't have advanced machinery. They had something far more potent. A unified purpose. They believed in the sacredness of their city, in the vision of their leaders, and in their connection to the cosmos. That shared belief allowed them to move mountains, literally. It fueled the construction of Monk's Mound, a project that took generations to complete. Each basket of earth was not just labor, it was an act of faith, a contribution to a grand, collective dream. This is the ultimate story of winning against impossible odds. They didn't have what we consider essential for building an empire, yet they built one. They faced the same challenges we do: social organization, resource management, community building, and they solved them with ingenuity and unity. Their success wasn't measured in gold or conquered lands, but in the creation of a society that thrived for centuries, a cultural center that influenced a continent. They won. They created a masterpiece of human endeavor. The tragedy is that for so long, we refused to see their victory. So what happened? Why did this magnificent city fade away? There was no single, dramatic collapse. No invading army razed it to ground. Instead, Cahokia's end was a slow, quiet whisper. The very success that fueled its rise may have sown the seeds of its decline. A massive population placed incredible strain on the environment. Forests were cleared for lumber and fuel, and intensive farming may have depleted the soil. Evidence suggests periods of prolonged drought and flooding, climatic shifts that would have devastated their agricultural base. With resources dwindling, social and political tensions likely grew. The glue of shared belief may have started to crack under the pressure. By 1350, the grand plazas were silent. The people had moved on, dispersing into smaller communities, leaving their great city to be reclaimed by the earth. But the story doesn't end there. Cahokia didn't truly die, it transformed. Its legacy lives on in the traditions, stories, and heritage of its descendants. The modern indigenous nations of the region, including the Osage, the Omaha, and the Panka, they are the keepers of this history, the living proof of Cahokia's resilience. And for all of us, Cahokia offers a powerful lesson. It teaches us that vision is more important than technology, that unity can achieve what individual strength cannot, and that the greatest empires aren't always the ones with the most durable monuments, but the ones that inspire a shared dream. Here on our channel, we tell the stories of those who won before the world was watching, the innovators, the visionaries, the communities who achieved greatness without the history books ever giving them a trophy. Cahokia is perhaps the greatest American example. They built an empire, touched the sky, and created a world of their own, long before the history we know began. They won, not for recognition or for a place in our textbooks, but because they dared to build their vision into reality. And that is a victory that can never be erased. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please subscribe and join us as we uncover more stories of the victories that history forgot.